Chris, and welcome to Gratitude Bomb. This is a special episode 1 for Michael O'Brien. So the Gratitude Bomb was set up with people like Michael in mind. Basically, the idea is that you get together a whole bunch of friends who care about somebody and you share them a lot of love in a surprised atmosphere or something they can look at any day, they're up or down for the rest of their lives. So B and I get to start, which I'm very grateful to. I just want to say, I like to think about pre-gratitude, and I like to think about, I do care about Michael. I have a great friendship with Michael. I have great moments with Michael, but without my friend Bobby Kountz introducing me to Michael, I wouldn't know Michael. So my pre-gratitude goes out to Bobby Kountz for thinking of his good friend at the time, saying, my mentor, Michael, I need to introduce you to him. So since that time in the last year, Michael's assisted me in a lot of things in my life. So he was, for example, the first person to come on my podcast almost a year ago. So he kind of held my hand for that, which was incredibly sweet of him. Since then, he's been kind of a sounding board for some different my ideas and sharing gratitude. When my book was going to, I was reaching out to people to write for my book. Michael wrote an incredible essay for Dear Gratitude. And since then, he's assisted with my second book, Dear 2020. And then I put recently in Gratitude Journey some more of Michael's words, because I love who he is, his message, and what he's out there doing in the world. So to close up my little thing towards Michael, I wanted to read a little bit of the essay he wrote for my book. So it's called, I think they look cool, Dad. Years ago, when my youngest was 8 years old, we were watching a movie together. As we watched, she stroked my skin grafts because she wanted to see how they felt. After she finished, I asked her what she thought, and that's when she said that they looked cool. Then I started to cry. Since my near-death cycling accident in 2001 that necessitated my skin grafts, I hated my scars. All I wanted to do was to cover them up because I thought everyone was staring at them. Many did, but I thought they looked at me with pity rather than strength. But when she thought they were cool, something shifted within me. Kids can be brutally honest, and her perspective gave me a moment to see them differently. It made me wonder, could I see my scars as marks of resilience rather than imperfections? So slowly, I started to see my scars through the lens of gratitude. They weren't ugly. They were merit badges that showed I survived something horrific. And they were my indication that I was still alive. So I wanted to share that just because I love that so much about the scars, and it's a big part of who he is. And I just want to say that I know that we all ended up in this room together knowing this man because of different avenues and different accidents, per se, in our lives. And I'm really grateful that obviously Michael's alive, but I'm really grateful he had that accident many years ago, because without that accident, I don't have this man in my life that I care so much about. So with that in mind, I'm gonna bring in my good friend, Bobby Kountz. Hey, Bobby, welcome to the party.
Hey, what's up, man? So first and foremost, let's just honor where we're here, right? We've got a movement going on with a man who is so committed to that movement, and not only committed to the movement, but committed to all the people that are a part of it, right? And I did a little Google search, Chris, just because I thought, well, Google seems like a great place to start, right? So I did this little Google search. I put in kindness, and the very first thing to show up was Michael O'Brien. And then I went to generosity, and I looked there, and once again, the very first thing that popped up was Michael O'Brien. And then I thought, well, gosh, if he popped up in those two places, maybe I should do a search on gratitude and see what happens. So I did a search on gratitude, and I looked, and Chris, I want you to know you're safe, brother. Okay. He came up behind you. Okay. He came up behind you in gratitude. So your place is safe. Your place is safe. You're absolutely right where you need to be, spreading gratitude across the planet, man. And what a great way to do that right now with this gratitude bomb for my very dear friend and mentor, Michael O'Brien. When you think about Michael, it's like, what comes to mind? And I've talked to a whole bunch of different people, and everybody is in unison, absolutely, positively, 100% on the two things that I already mentioned, kindness and generosity. I threw gratitude in there as kind of just a little sidebar note for you, because after all, this is the gratitude bomb. So why not, right? But in all seriousness, Michael is constantly talking about gratitude because it's so important to him. As a matter of fact, he talks about waking up in the morning, drinking his water, and then he expresses gratitude, and then he moves on to in his morning practice. Michael is, I wrote this word down because I make words up. This is kind of a fun thing that I do. Michael is multi-generational, which simply means that he is sensationally generous with the most precious resource of all, and that's his time. He gives his time freely to everyone. He pours into people over and over and over again with no concern about what it's costing him as it relates to time, because he doesn't see it as a cost. He sees it as an investment in a human being. Michael has this profound way of wanting to connect with humans so that together you have one human making another human just a little bit better. And in the process, we become humans becoming better humans. And Michael facilitates that every day. Every day, with every breath, with everything that he does, he is constantly focused on pouring into others. I reached out to a couple of people because I wanted to be able to expand my gratitude. And I wanted to be able to expand what I wanted Michael to understand, what people said about him. And here's a little something that was said about Michael. This is from Munira, and she said, "Please tell Michael I love him with all my heart." This was at a time when Michael was experiencing something really profound, the loss of his mother. She said, "My phone is about to die. Please extend my condolences. And yes, energy never gets destroyed, and Michael is always lifting others, so I wanted to be there for him." And then I reached out to Deandra, and I asked Deandra, if you had 60 seconds to tell Michael what he's meant to you, what would you say? And she said, well, the whole world is a better place with you in it. With every conversation you carefully present. Your superpower for me is the fact that I feel seen and heard by you. When we have conversations, I feel like no one else is in the room. No one else exists but the two of us, even in a crowded space. She said, that's a real gift. She said, I feel understood, and we now have a lifetime connection. I could go on and on and on for hours, but instead, I would like to introduce my very, very dear friend, Lisa Toney, to come on so she can pour into Michael the same way that I hope he has with my share. Thank you, Chris, for being our host. Lisa, I think it's your turn. What is that?
Oh, hi. I was just reading the Book of Michael-isms. It's
the my Lord
21 edition. So just so you know, Michael was already published in the Dear 2020 Gratitude book. But now the 2021 edition, hot off the press, of the Book of Michael-isms. So I was going through this Book of Michael-isms, and I like to look at my personal favorite Michael-isms, because these are some of the sayings that not only does he give and gift to us, but now his whole tribe uses them. Because who isn't awesome sauce? And why do it if it's not easy peasy lemon squeezy?
Oh my God.
My favorite, of course, is you do you, boo. When Michael just looks at us and says, just saying. I also love when, after he has recognized each and every person with gratitude in our pause, breathe, reflect room, he'll say, let's drop in together.
Yes.
And then we know that the magic is about to begin. And then once the magic of Michael and our meditation have been complete, he will gently say to us, as we round out this pause, breathe, reflect moment, and then we wiggle our beautiful fingers and toes, because who knew that they were beautiful? And I also love that Michael recognizes people with words like, he's such a mensch. And who doesn't love when Michael wants to start a party and says, everybody Wing Chun tonight? And then, because never, ever is Michael O'Brien on the unkind side, but he will give us that disclaimer, not being judgy, because he's not. And then personal favorite for me, because in his household, where women rule as well as their appetites, he will say, winner, winner, tofu dinner, because you're not allowed to put meat in there. But by far, one of the all-time best things Michael has ever said, which I have now as an affirmation in my home, in my office, in my purse, on my mirror, where he tells me, I can always come back to my breath.
Yes.
So, Michael, you are the Papa Peloton. You are the gentlest, truest human I know, and the ultimate expresser of loving kindness. You have gifted to me and so many others the ability to be proud of and love our scars, all our broken pieces, all our broken bits, because we are all kintsugi art, and we are all kintsugi warriors. For all the big breathing moments, all the little breathing moments, thank you. Thank you for being extra patient, extra comforting, extra special. No one, and I mean no one, ripples better than you. I love you. My heart is overfilled and overjoyed with gratitude to have you in my Peloton, and proudly show, pause, breathe, reflect. So, Michael, here's to 20 fantastic years. Here's to brand new custom-made pieces for your new knee. And here's to 20 more bionic man great years. And now I am extraordinarily happy to be able to bring onto the stage the kindness couple, the couple that exudes gratitude, Brianna Greenspan and Josh Eidenberg. My friends, come on in. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa. Oh, how beautiful. The Book of Michaelisms.
The Book of Michael-isms, and
So
you
cute.
are the kindness couple, so go for kindness.
So precious. I'm so grateful for you and for you showing up to be a leader and recognizing all of the uniqueness about Michael. You're absolutely right and so spot on. Michael is one of the most unique individuals, down to the language, down to the way that he shows up with such a generous heart. And Michael, I love and adore you from the moment that we met on the interwebs. It was just such a beautiful opportunity to see your soul shining and to see you unfolding and really recognizing your true potential, and to witness you starting a community and impacting so many individuals and really starting to come out of your skin and even introduce some of these Michaelisms to the room. It's always such a beautiful thing. Even Lisa's cup, she's like rocking the pause, breathe, reflect movement. It took our clubhouse by storm with people wearing these shirts, having these sweatshirts, having these cups, and it's just a testament to the energy and presence and love that you provide and the nurturing space that you hold for so many individuals to unpack what they're going through, really release the rocks in their backpack, which is one of my personal favorite Michaelisms, because the truth is you model what's possible for doing the inner work. It's something that we talk about all the time because it's the inner work that really helps create a meaningful and rich experience. And it's been so awesome sauce to witness you inspiring so many people to do that inner work, especially because you hold such a beautiful container for people to really unpack and unlock their true potential. So I love you. I'm grateful for you. I'm personally grateful for you recognizing how beautiful your scars truly are, because the story that you share and the way that you model that we all have scars, we all have challenges. Yet when we hold ourselves in such a beautiful light, it's the scars and the challenges that help us become our most resilient self, that rising of the phoenix. And when I think about, rising from the ashes, we've been talking about it the last few weeks, I really think about you because you're an embodiment of that. And so congratulations on the incredible accomplishment that you are reaching in having your 20th anniversary of your last bad day, because the truth is all of us are better because of your leadership and the way that you show up, especially with the way that you've shown up in schools to bring the pause, breathe, reflect movement to schools across America has really warmed my heart, especially when I hear students saying, oh, we just need to take a moment to pause, take a moment to breathe, take a moment to reflect. And I know that these schools are being impacted because of your presence and leadership. So thank you so much. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you each and every day. And I'm going to pass it over to my lovely other half.
Thank you, honey. Wow. How do you follow that? Michael, I am so grateful for you and how you show up magically via notification on my phone, consistently reminding me to pause, breathe, and reflect. I press a button, I get welcomed immediately. Hi, Josh. And I just feel like so seen and heard. And, when we get that, when we go through the monkey brain during our day, and then all of a sudden we have a chance, an opportunity to connect with you in this amazing community that you have created through the pause, breathe, and reflect movement. It's really just such a blessing to have you in our lives. And I am so glad to call you a friend, and we're so glad to be here with you on your journey to healing.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is one more thing that, the first time I ever used an app and scanned your pause, breathe, reflect, and I was able to see your sweet face leading a meditation, it blew my mind, because you, sir, are leading with such love and integrity. And the fact that people all across the world are able to take 30 seconds to do a PBR, it's really because of your leadership. I'm so grateful for you each and every day. Love you so much.
Wow. I think Josh may have said it better than I ever possibly. How do you follow that? The good thing is all I have to do is make a quick transition here to the next person, right? Which makes my job super easy. I will say one thing, though, that I think is really important. Michael reminds us all the time that all events in life are neutral until we label them. How profound is that? How absolutely profound is that? So I know this next person that's coming on is absolutely going to pour nothing but pure love into Michael. So Christine, I know it's your turn. I'm looking forward to you coming on and helping me pour into this man who is changing lives magically every single day. It's all yours.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible stories about an incredible man. So I feel so blessed to be here, Michael, to share my experience since first hearing you speak in Clubhouse in the Miracle Morning Room. Of course, I was incredibly inspired by his story, which then inspired me to follow him to his room. And I will never forget that day. I was a couple weeks into Clubhouse, and I said, why not? He is being so vulnerable. Other people are being so vulnerable on the stage. It was a very small room, and I felt so encouraged and supported. And I got on that stage, my voice was shaking. I didn't know what to say. I think I started crying. And Michael, he just coached me through it. He was incredibly supportive. And after that moment, that really was the moment I found my voice on Clubhouse. After that moment, I started showing up. I started showing up for the Miracle Morning Room. I started sharing. I started going to other rooms and sharing. And it was all because of Michael. That's just who he is. When I think of the word gratitude, Michael's name is really one of the first names that comes to mind. He just lives his life with such positivity, gratitude, and you feel that every time you're around him. And this pause, breathe, reflect community that he's created is incredible. It is a community of like-minded people that have come together following Michael and his story. And this community has just grown from, a few people to hundreds that come into that room. And once you go into that room, you want to keep coming back. For me, it has become, over at least the last few months, a habit that is like brushing my teeth. Like, I have to be in that room, especially first thing in the morning. It's the best way to start my day, to hear his calming presence, and to hear him. He acknowledges every single person that comes into that room. There's not one room on Clubhouse that I go to where the moderator acknowledges every single person, whether it's the first time in their room or the 100th time in his room. He is acknowledging them. And I just see these people that just keep coming back. And Michael is the reason for that. And, what is so incredible about Michael is that, he is now doing this Ripple Challenge that's all about kindness. And he really embodies this whole ripple, I guess, that we want to see in this country. I mean, he is changing lives just with his story, with all of the work that he's doing. Each one of his rooms, he does a donation to a charity, and he's giving that money back. And so I'm just so grateful. I could go on and on about Michael. I'm so grateful that he came into my life. I've never met him in person, but I would consider him a friend at this point. And during some really difficult times in my life, that room that I go into is the one thing that I feel like I can count on. And those people that are in that room have become my family. And that's because of Michael and what he has created. And so, Michael, I am just sending you so much love. And I'm wishing you a speedy recovery as you go through your knee surgery and as you celebrate. And I can't remember how many days it's been, so someone will have to remind me of that. But since your accident, you are an incredible person. And I want to leave you with this, Michael. Keep storming the castle.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was perfect. You are incredible, Christine Cascio. And yes, we are a family. And yes, Michael did bring us together. And yes, we're going to meet in person in New York. So there you go.
Yay.
So it is such a pleasure for me. Oh, you switched places on me. It's the magic of Palmore. So I wanted to just thank you so much, my darling friend, and let you know how much I love you. And I am going to move on to my remarkable Sharon Buckler. Who else would have the beautiful ability to actually have a pizzeria named for her by our one and only Michael O'Brien? And that was, if I'm not mistaken, the infamous Niagara Falls night. So it's all you, my love.
Thank you, Lisa. I don't even know what to say about Michael. So I guess I'll start with the pizzeria story because I was going to start with a different one. But I closed my restaurant that I had for quite a while, and I decided to open up a pizzeria, and it was really because of Michael. He gave me the like almost a foundation. I was coming every single day. I started coming in April. April 22nd was the first day I was on Clubhouse. April 22nd was the first day I went into Michael's room. I found it by mistake. I was looking for flower farming, and I found Michael. And I just couldn't stop listening to him. So I found out that I could follow him. So I followed him to the next room, which was the Miracle Morning Room. And he spoke again. And then he said, well, I have these rooms 4 times a day. Anybody could come. And what was so weird was that when I was in his room the first time, I thought I heard him say my name. And I thought, did he say Sharon or Sharon? And then I realized every single person that went in that room, he acknowledged. He saw every single person, and he acknowledged them and said good morning or hi or welcome or nice to see you, or with me, because I had the party hat on in Clubhouse. He said, welcome to Clubhouse. I thought, well, how the heck does he know I'm new? And then I realized I was the only one with the little party hat. So, but getting back to the pizzeria, I needed a name for the pizzeria, and Michael, on probably one of his worst days, made it happen when we named a pizzeria. So we name dogs, we name pizzerias, we name, you have it, we name it, have a baby, we'll name it. It's free of charge. Michael doesn't charge for any of this service. But on a serious note, I try to listen to Michael every single morning. And I drive special ability children to school. And one morning, Michael was not going to be on at 7:35. In fact, he had already been on, and I listened to him. And so we're driving down the road, and I have this little 5-year-old kid, and he just pops up and he says, aren't we going to listen to The Boy in the Castle? And I said, the what? And I just didn't quite understand what he was saying. And then he said it again. He said, aren't we going to listen to the radio? Because I played it through the radio. So he just assumed it was on the radio. So then I started to think about it. I said, the boy what? And I said, do you mean storming the castle? Are you talking about Michael? And he said, yeah, aren't we going to listen to him on the radio? And it was the most absolute cutest thing. That little boy was listening every morning during meditation. I couldn't speak because I was driving, but he listened every morning, and he knew that it was time for Michael to be on there. That is how special Michael is. That a 5-year-old boy sitting in a car seat on his way to school realized that something in his morning was missing, and he wanted it back. So I quickly pulled over and put on Michael's children's meditation, and that sufficed for a little while, except he wanted to hear more things. And, that was it. Once the children's meditation was over, it was over. So I just thought that was really cute. But I feel the same way Christine does. I don't want to miss the room. I don't want to miss it. Like, I'll pull over on the side of the road, not when I'm driving for school, but if I'm going somewhere else, if I'm walking into a supermarket, I'll stop. I'll sit in the car, put the air conditioner on. I don't care. I don't want to miss it. It's become like a family. It is our family. I mean, this man, through an app, has gotten us all together for one purpose: to remember to breathe, because life could be very hard. He had his hardest day. He's getting ready. This is coming up on his celebration. of his last bad day. And 20 years later, he's the little man, or as the little kid on my bus says, the boy in the castle. But here's this man whose voice is coming outside of an app, and he is engaging us. He is teaching us. He is fearless. He will defend any of us. And he genuinely loves us. And I feel so much love in this room that I can't even begin to thank you, Michael. Happy anniversary on your last bad day. And I hope that this just fills your heart like you filled ours. Thank you.
I'm just sitting here in absolute awe of that story. Sharon, that was one of the best stories ever. I remember when you told that story. I had the great good fortune of being in the room that morning when you told the story about put on the boy that storms the castle. I need to put the boy that storms the castle.
And I just didn't know what he was talking on the radio. He kept saying on the radio. And so I was like, you want the radio on? I turned the radio on, and music obviously comes on when you turn the radio on. I just didn't know what he was saying. And then it just dawned on me, this kid had been listening to that meditation every morning. And he counted on it the same way I did.
Yeah.
He's brave. So
Michael,
it's amazing.
And I remember how physically moved Michael was by your share about that. And I have a little bit of inside baseball about what that really meant to him. And what I can tell everyone here that's pouring into Michael today is that it meant everything to him, because he knew in that moment he had made a connection at a deeper level that he could have never possibly anticipated. And that is the power of gratitude. And that is the power of knowing who you are, what you're about, and the difference that you want to make in the world. And Michael knows what kind of a difference he wants to make in the world. And our next guest coming on has been poured into by Michael. As a matter of fact, she's actually been in the same room with him and had coffee poured into a cup where I think they shared a cup of coffee together, if I remember correctly. And that will be Carly. Carly is coming up. Carly is just this incredible, brave soul, a warrior, an absolute warrior in her fight against the challenges that she faces. And I've seen her grow into this amazing human being supported by Michael and the rest of the family. So Carly, I know I don't know if you're even free from your jail cell yet. No, it looks to me like you might still be in your jail cell. So Carly's been in the hospital. So this is coming live from the hospital. Yay,
Hi.
little one. Can't wait
Thank
to hear from you. You are so amazing. You're such an inspiration to me. And you inspire Michael too. That's the crazy thing, right? So here he is doing all this love pouring, but you inspire him. How cool is that?
It's pretty incredible. I was just thinking it's been about a month and a half, I think, since I started coming into Michael's room, since I first met him in Miracle Morning. And just to think how significant like his role in my life is in such a short amount of time. This was a rough week, but it's gone more smoothly than any of my other hospitalizations have. And how I've managed it emotionally. Yes, that's right. And feeling the connection and the love from our group, and has really like made a change in like my nervous system, like that really feeling and knowing on an inner level what it's like to be seen and heard and loved, as he talks about in his loving kindness meditations. I love making it to those, especially, and just hearing him say like, you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. And I'm sure every one of us on here feels that from Michael, and that has made such a huge difference to me. Not that I haven't had people who have loved and supported me, but I think coming from somebody who has gone through such an incredibly hard life change that just turns your life upside down like his accident did. I think, and many people in our group have gone through different things, but he has a special gift to connect to other people that are going through those really challenging spots in their journey. It's been 10 years for me since I had to move away from my career and go on disability. And a lot of what I've dealt with is like not apparent to the eye. A lot of it is invisible. And that can be really challenging to walk through the world, people not really seeing just how much you're dealing with. But Michael sees it. That's really special. So I just want to thank you, Michael, for how you see and recognize all of us. It's such an important thing. And then it equips us to find our inner strength and do what we're meant to do. And so I remember pretty clearly the first room that I really shared in, and it was his room. I think I got up on stage maybe once before just to say hello, but the space that you give us to, if we want to open up and share what's going on. And, I've been feeling for a while that like I had something to say just in general, like to share what I'm going through, but haven't really had the, I guess the right platform or what worked for me. And I was driving to my sister's house to babysit my nephews, and I pulled over because I promised myself, like, if I feel like I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. And whether it was in the Pause, Breathe, Reflect room or the Miracle Morning, because there was a couple of times where I was like, I have something to say. Should I say it? No, I'm not feeling well enough. And I remember he had read a poem about, I don't know, it was either the poem about a dog but he was talking about how important it is to share, like, we all have experiences that leave us with hurt, like when we've opened up our hearts and our lives to people. And it can be so easy to then from that just live life with our heart a little bit closed off so as to protect each other, to protect ourselves. And but he said, but it's so important that we live our life open-hearted. And so I remember pulling over on my sister's street, and it was my turn to talk, and I just shared, like, that I've had a lot of loss, that I've dealt with loss of relationships, friendships, just a lot. But it was such an important thing for me to be reminded of. And I think being in the PBR room with him and with all of you really creates that space, has created that space for me where I felt connected and supported to share, and to open up my heart. And so anyway, I think that's probably what I have. Well, I guess the other thing I wanted to say was I love when Michael says, you've got this and we've got you. And we can go through so many hard things, just knowing that we have people who really get us emotionally and what's going on in our lives, and that we've got our backs. When I texted Lisa and Michael that I was in the hospital, they both said, like, lean on us. We have strong shoulders and strong backs. And he sent me my own Pause, Breathe, Reflect recording, and it was just so beautiful and touching to have his voice directly speaking to me, and that really helped a lot, like after some really hard days and then having to do a really draining test, and my pain level was really high, and so he focused on, you know, going back and forth between reflecting on what's going on in your body and then coming outside of that, and never quite done a meditation that really kind of toggled between those two. So anyway, thank you, Michael, for everything you are and everything you give to us. We made a huge difference in my life already, and I look forward to all the days to come. So yeah. So and I'll just end with how he reminds us that we can always come back to our breath, and that a bad moment doesn't have to turn into a bad day. And I think that that's remarkable. So congratulations on making it 20 years. And we wish you much blessing in your surgery and your recovery to come.
I had to be on mute. My neighbors got a whole bunch of music going on out here. I guess they're celebrating. They must know that we're celebrating Michael's last bad day ever. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure. But anyway, wow. I don't know about anybody else that's here, but to hear Carly share and to hear her speak about how Michael has helped her with her journey, it's like, oh my goodness, right? Oh my goodness. So I hope, Michael, that you're taking that in. To know that you went to a coffee shop and met with her, to know that that happened. I don't know how many people that you meet on social media would come and meet with you in a private location so that you could pour even further into them than you already were in a virtual space. But I'm not surprised that you did it, my friend, because that's the kind of human being you are. You're an incredibly amazing human being. And we just all feel so blessed to know you. You have made such a dramatic difference in so many people's lives. And I know when you see this, you're going to see just how much stronger Carly is now than she was before she met you. And you will see the transition that took place, right? You will see that. You will feel that. You will sense that the same way that we all did here in the room right now as we were making this for you. And the comments in the chat, oh my God, I wish you could see them, bro, because they are off the charts. Off the charts. And everybody is pouring into you. Everybody loves you. Everybody is so incredibly grateful for you. So without further ado, I think it's probably time to bring the next guest in. And I believe that's going to be Billie. I think Billie's going to come in here and pour some love into you, my friend. And that is going to be amazing.
Oh my gosh, such hype, Bobby. I don't know. I am so excited. I'm coming here from my cell phone with wonky internet. So I hope, Michael, you can hear me, because I just have to say, for knowing you for less than 90 freaking days, you have impacted my life so freaking much. And I hope I don't cry. And I hope I don't curse like I did in the Miracle Morning Room the other day.
You do cry. I'm sorry. I want you to cry. I want Michael to see what kind of an impact he's making. If the tears come, let them come.
Damn it. So, but Michael, just everyone has said so much already about the impact and you've had in our lives in such a short time. And it's just incredible and amazing. I have never known somebody for such a short time that I've never met in person who says, where are you traveling to? And I say, I'm going on a 3-week road trip. Well, where are you going to be tomorrow? We're going to be in Vegas. Okay, I'm going to send you some stickers. So today, FedEx delivered 100 stickers, pause, breathe, and reflect, so I can share them while I'm doing my gratitude and kindness journey and rippling the ripple to others. And you encouraged me to take this opportunity on this trip to ripple that ripple. I went and bought gift cards for Starbucks. I bought some affirmation cards to hand out. I packed them in my bag, and then you sent stickers to add to it. And today is day 2 of our journey. I just got the stickers. I've already sent out some affirmation cards, and I'm going to be adding those stickers with it. I just feel so blessed that I have found this community. I felt like every room I was in was just hamster wheel after hamster wheel. And I came into your room and you said, it's time to get off the hamster wheel. And I'm like, yeah, let's get off that damn hamster wheel. And let's just take some time to pause, to breathe, and reflect. And when you said, take off your backpack, it reminded me of when I was in high school. And I'm old. When I was in high school, you had to carry all the textbooks home every night that you wanted to do your homework with. And I remember carrying that backpack. And by the time I walked the 2 miles home, it felt so heavy. And that was my favorite moment of the day, was taking off my backpack. So every time you say that, it brings back that, taking off the backpack. And it just releases this weight off my shoulders. Anything that's going on, any thoughts, any stress, just kind of gently subsides, if only for 5 minutes. And there are times I don't want to go storm the castle. I just want to stay with you guys and stay in your presence all day, because that is what you bring to others. You give and give and give, and your kindness and your spirit just exudes. And you can do that through an app. And your presence is just so strong and so amazing. And I am so thankful that you made it through your last bad day to be here for us, to share your love and your gifts with us so that we can learn to share our gifts and our love with others. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to tell you that, sort of in person, but one day we'll meet in New York. And just thank you. And the ripple is going to ripple on this 3 weeks. Thank you so much.
Hi, beautiful.
Hello, sweetie. I'm going to cry. I'm crying.
It's so good, but your nose is not red, so it's perfect.
Okay,
and,
good.
And your lip gloss is still on, and it looks beautiful.
Lip gloss has to be on point, Michael. So there you go, Michael. Lip gloss is on for you.
You know, Michael would understand this coming from a house of girls, because
yes,
as he's even told us, he has to go and watch The Bachelorette, but not talk.
Yes.
He has the Taylor Swift contest of what's the best song and what dance party are we going to have. So for sure, he totally gets it. But for me to be able to see you, my accountability partner, my beautiful friend, my person, I love it. And I love you. And I am so, so thankful that you were able to come into this. And I cannot get over that you're doing your gratitude tour right now. So
I am. It's the gratitude tour 2.0, following Lisa's.
Because I did my Texas thank you tour. So
yeah,
the whole summer is just going to be summer love and gratitude.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Thank you so much for including me in this. And I just love you all so much. I love this community that you created, Michael. It's a blessing.
It is. Thank you, my love. Safe travels.
Thank you.
So I know now we are going to go to another superhero who does some really magical stuff on the app with pictures. Even though he's quiet, he has great power. I am so excited to have Shawn Curtis, who is Michael's accountability partner, come on stage with us. Hey!
Thank you so much.
Up.
Oh man, it's a blessing to go a little bit later to hear some of the stories, but then I'm scribing over here and moved by all the stories. So I'm going to try to get through this. I have all my journals here, and it's funny, Michael. hello, brother, and I love you. We met really early on in Clubhouse, relative to my universe. We met back in February, and February and March. And I went back to some of my journals, man, because I was that piece of kintsugi. I was broken, and you heard me. And I'll just share very briefly. I went back to the journal entry, and in terms of what I was learning about myself back then, I lost my confidence a long time ago, 2016. With that loss of confidence, I had self-doubt, self-sabotage. I was frustrated. I was angry, personally and professionally. I was in denial. I had not shared or let others in. And I could go on, the next day in terms of just about not loving myself, not letting others in again, and really reflecting on that. And you heard me, and you saw me, and you loved me. And not only was I just isolating in my own self, but for another man to come forward in that moment. And I know, one of your deep passions is diversity and inclusion. And not often does the conversation around men and their lack of vulnerability and their willingness to speak up because of mental illness ever factor in. Or I shouldn't say ever. It doesn't often factor in to the conversation. And so I love you for your focus on that. I have so many notes. I mean, when you raised your hand and you said, I'd glad to be your accountability partner, I didn't know what to expect. And what was beautiful about it is that there were no expectations. There was no agenda. There was no structure. It was organic. And you listened. And then you'd pause. And you challenge me to have different perspective. You encouraged me to unpack my backpack one rock at a time. You were selfless. And along our journey, just being able to share the gift with you and the moment we had for the first time in Chris Schember's 747 gratitude dinner, and you having the breakthrough moment and to share that moment together was extremely special. And dare I say, just like the savers don't have any specific order, I actually would say that pause, breathe, reflect doesn't have any special order either. And I'll draw the parallel because it's unique. As you say, there are no coincidences. When I was reading Dr. Jill's book today, there's a section in the book, for those that haven't read it yet, where she talks about breathing, but recognizing the pause at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. And to be very intentional of that, because if we don't have that pause, then we hyperventilate. And we don't have that clarity. And man, I wear this sweatshirt. I wear the stickers on my water bottle. I'm up here in Maine at camp, and I had a bunch of the stickers last night, was sharing with some friends. But man, the support, the love, the strength, the perspective has touched me in ways that I know you see every day. You've taught me to slow down, to speed up. And there's a lot there. It's not going to happen quickly. But I can tell you, Michael, you're a really, really important part of my journey, my discovery, and my future. And not just for me, but for my daughter and those that cross my path. So I love you. I thank you. And I want you to know in these days to come ahead of your surgery, you got this. And we got you. Love you, man.
I'm muted because I think everybody's still celebrating what's going on here. Although the music did just kind of kick down a notch. It's kind of weird. It's like it's loud and then it's soft. So I'm like, do you guys know what we're doing over here? Do you know that there's a party going on or something? It's kind of crazy. Pretty amazing. And Shawn, I must tell you, my friend, I can tell Michael has the same kind of impact with you that he's had with me. He introduced me to another part of myself that I'd forgotten about. Because I know you knew that that part of you existed too, but you forgot where you hid it, right? It was like, you go ahead. Yeah.
No, I think there's an element of that. And, I'll be honest with you, Bobby, because a big part of my journey now is some inner child work and going super deep.
Yeah.
And I think there's big parts of it that I didn't know I had as well. So I think it's a combination of both. I mean, that's how moving this human being is.
Yeah. He has helped me with what you're talking about right now because he knows my whole story, right? And not everybody knows my whole story. I think people have bits and pieces of it. They know I was raised by my Depression era grandparents. They know I didn't know my mother my whole life growing up, but Michael knows my whole story. And when he sees me struggling, he usually just asks me a couple of really powerful questions. And I think that's his superpower. He knows what questions to ask. Would you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the power, and that's the power, right? It's one of my key values, but the power is in listening, right? The gift is in the listening, the curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never met anyone who listened so intently. He has this unique ability. His gift is that when he's in the room with you, and Deandra said the same thing. You could be in a room full of other people, but when you're with Michael, you feel like you're the only one in the room. Am I right?
There's my Immitt. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So how special? I mean, at a level that's really deep, how special has Michael helped you to feel as you've worked through this process of finding yourself again?
I don't know if there are words for it, Bobby. I mean, everybody has just his ability. I mean, people talk about the simple things, right? Of just acknowledging people by their name, to the kindness of just recognizing them when they're in their room. Just that one simple thing about how does that make you feel, right? We talk about kindness. We talk about the ripple,
Yeah.
right? Just the smallest little simplicity of things about the kindness that we can extend and how does it make people feel. And
Yeah.
to use Michael's words, he is a mensch of kindness.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. A mention of kindness. What a great place for a transition for us to move on to the next person, right? And Chris, you might have to help me out with the order here, but are we done? Are we almost? Is it Amy gets to go last? Which I thought was the case. I wasn't sure, and I'm like, okay, this just went by so fast. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, this went by so fast, so incredibly fast. I wish I could pour into Michael for another hour, to be honest with you. I really do. But since, we don't have that much time, and since it is time, let's hear from Amy Graham. Let's hear Amy pour a little bit of love into Michael because she has a special place in her heart for him. And I think that after we hear her share, everyone might be moved almost to tears. I don't know, but Amy, can you join me? Wow.
Hi, Bobby. Thank you so much.
Can you turn your mic up just a little bit, or can you get closer to your mic? Because I want Michael to hear every single word.
Is that better?
Little bit.
Okay, I think I have it up all the way.
Okay. We're just going to go with it and just speak loudly because your soft voice may not be picking up for whatever reason.
Okay, I'll do the best. Anyway, it's so special to be here. And you reminded me about something I actually had forgotten about when you said that Michael his gift of making you feel like one in the room. And I actually met Michael for the first time early on when I was the one in the room. In fact, I think actually one other, and it may have been Gennaro, but then Gennaro left, and I had never been there, and it's just me and this guy I don't know. And I was actually having a bad day. And based on their conversation, I just sat quietly and I asked him, I said, you know, Michael, what do you do when you're having a really bad day? And to be honest with you, what happened was very similar to Maya Angelou's quote, where you don't really remember what the person says, it's how they make you feel. And that's exactly what happened to me. I honestly don't remember what Michael said, but I do remember how he made me feel, and he changed my day. And it was beautiful. And I knew that this was someone so, so very special, that from that day on, I continued to come back as often as I could. So, Michael, you are such an inspiration. The transformation from your last bad day 20 years ago has brought together the most wonderful community and the most kind and loving individuals I have met in one space. And that's all because of you. It truly mirrors the incredible person you are and the beautiful gifts that you share unconditionally with everyone you meet each and every day. From the safe space you hold, the kind words you speak, and the loving thoughts and Michaelisms you express are priceless. And the way you make us all feel cannot easily be forgotten. Thank you for being you. Thank you for all you've done and continue to do so effortlessly. You have made such a difference in my life and innumerable others, as you've heard. It's such a special tribute to you and so well deserved. You are a true treasure, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the PBR community you created. Much love, many thanks, and happy anniversary. Thank you, Michael.
Oh my God, Amy, that was amazing. And you know what time it is? It's PBR time. It's crazy. Michael's going to freak out because we're all going to be missing from the room. Can you imagine that? He's like, hey, wait a minute. Where's Lisa? Where's Bobby? Where's Shawn? He's going to go down the list and he's going to be freaking out, right? There's Lisa right now.
So yeah, just so everybody knows, I have it on mute. I went in.
I'll do the same thing. Oh my God.
I was the first person in, so he wouldn't think like, where is she?
That's hilarious. I'm dying here. I am absolutely dying here. I am about to click my Clubhouse app, and there it is. I can see it. Bingo. There's the room right there. Look at that. There it is. Oh my God.
I'm
Yes,
the
indeed.
first one in. That never happens.
Clubhouse. Good to see you.
Perfect.
Hey, Bobby.
Listen. How cool is this?
We'll give it a few.
Oh, this is This is the best. We could have never planned this. This is perfect.
I'm just saying hello to all of us.
Great day to be grateful.
Great day to be grateful. Did you hear that?
Woo! Yes, we are full of
Great day to have a great day. Hey, Billie.
So early.
Oh, this is the best. We could have never planned this. This is perfect.
Everything happens when you trust the process.
Oh my gosh, Lisa, you are so amazing. Everyone who came tonight to make this possible. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys know what we've done here tonight.
We just spread the love that Michael gives to us. So that's how you do it. Because
Turn this down so we can finish.
we got it.
Yeah, we need to wrap this up so we can get into the room for the post pause, breathe, reflect thing where all the magic happens, right? Chris, where are you, brother?
I'm right here, man.
There you are.
Hey!
Oh my gosh, my friend.
What
This is the most
fantastic
magical
night.
experience of my life, dude. I swear. I don't know if I've ever felt so many emotions all in one place at one time. This was like better than a rock concert, dude.
Love it. I'm so glad we could do it. It's been wonderful. So great. Thanks for sharing and this felt the love, and I can only imagine what he's going to feel. Right. So we get a percentage of that feeling, but what he's going to get is he's going to get all of it. So it's fantastic. Thank you guys for being vulnerable, showing up, and just sharing the love. It's beautiful. So thank you. Wow. Do you have any closing thoughts, Bobby or Lisa? And I'll hit my master out, and we'll be done.
I'm going to keep it really short and tight because Bree has me working on word economy. It's one of my new skills. Look at Lisa laughing so she knows, right? Michael, my friend, my brother, my soul mate for life. And what I mean is brother to brother. The ripple that you're creating, the tsunami effect of what's happening because of your ripple is changing this planet for my grandkids, brother. I love you. I'm behind you. You mean the world to me. Man, I am so grateful that we were able to do this for you. You mean the world to me. Thank you, brother.